and welcome to the Book Fanatic YouTube channel. Today I'm going to be narrating the short story The Chinese Statue by Jeffrey Archer. Let's begin. The story opens with a porcelain Chinese statue being auctioned off at Sotheby's. The auctioneer narrates the history of the statue and its journey from the Halichuan district in China to the auctioneer's desk. The narrator of the story, who put up the statue for auction, tells us of how it came into his possession and now it has come to be sold off. It all started with the narrator's great-great-grandfather, Sir Alexander Heathcote, who was a very precise and exact man in everything he did. He was the ambassador of Peking in China. While he was serving as ambassador in Peking, he came across a craftsman's shop in Halichuan, and he was amazed by the ornate statues, as he was an ardent art lover. The craftsman then showed him a beautiful statue of Emperor Ming of the Ming dynasty. Heathcote was so awestruck by the magnificent statue that he accidentally wished he owned it out loud. The craftsman reluctantly gave him the statue, because there was a rule that they could never refuse a guest for anything he asked whatsoever. Alexander took it with great guilt, and in order to repay the craftsman, he constructed a beautiful house for him with the Chinese queen's permission. Alexander loved the statue so much that in his will he declared that the statue must be passed on to the first male born of every generation and is to be sold only if the family reputation was at stake. After Alexander died, the statue was passed on to his son, Major James Heathcote, a general in the British Army, who displayed it in his regimental office in Halifax. Then it was passed on to the next heir, Right Reverend Alexander Heathcote. He kept it in the bishop's house, and after him it came into the possession of Captain James Heathcote, his son, who later on died intestate. Though no will was ever written, common knowledge was that the statue must be passed on to his son, Alex Heathcote, who was spoiled by his mother at a very young age, and unlike his forefathers, did not amount to much. He didn't even care for the statue's worth. Alex Heathcote came up with a system of playing roulette, and he gambled away all his money, and his creditors threatened him to pay it back. His only hope now was selling the statue, which he could, since the family reputation was indeed at stake. He contacted Sotheby's and was informed later that the statue was a fake, in fact, and worth very little. Alex, now dejected, decided to use the proceeds to buy a gun and commit suicide. But just then, he is informed that the base of the statue was very valuable and worth a lot. Now coming to the present, the statue itself was sold at 720 guineas, and the valuable base was sold for nearly 2,000 guineas, which is a major plot twist in the story. What do you think happened to the original statue? Was it always a fake? Did the craftsman indeed present Alexander Heathcote with a replica? What are your thoughts?